What's going on, guys? In this video we're talking about a new release from Jimmy Choo in the Man line. We haven't had a release in this line in quite some time. We have Jimmy Choo Man, Jimmy Choo Man Intense, Jimmy Choo Man Blue, underrated blue, and then the most popular Jimmy Choo Man Ice, that beautiful ice cold lemonade vetiver fragrance. But here we're talking about the new Jimmy Choo Man Aqua. Let's discuss, shall we? Stay tuned. So as far as this scent is concerned, it's extremely familiar. It is more on the generic side. Gonna call a spade a spade. It does smell really good. It does have that typical beautiful atomizer that they're known for in this line, but the first time I smelled it, I was like, wow, this reminds me of so many different things. And it did not take me long to figure out YSLY, more of the EDT and a little bit of the EDP, just the Y DNA as a whole. Coach Blue, Lacoste L1212 White, the EDP, more of the eau de parfum, because that smells like YSLY and Coach Blue. So think about that. The note breakdown I'll have on screen. Obviously, you do get the aquatic tones. You do get some beautiful sweet spice from this cardamom, the nice hit of grapefruit. It's more of a smooth and rich grapefruit. I'm actually going to spray my hand. I have it on my forearms, my neck. I wore it to the gym earlier today. I wore it as my scent of the day. I've wore it out the shower. It's currently on me now. I've been spraying it a lot here in the last few days. And admittedly, it is a beautiful fragrance. It's very aromatic from this clary sage. It offers almost a lavender type of feel without it being too soapy, but it does have a bit of that generic shower gel feel to it. This is extremely pleasant to smell. The problem is, those of you that are really into fragrances, you probably have a few fragrances that kind of do this job already. So I did buy this at full retail from Macy's. I wanted to just go ahead and grab it. I bought it in a haul with the new Invictus Platinum. And I will wear it. I do love the way it smells. But I had to tell you guys right here in the beginning, if you have those fragrances, no, you don't need this one. But if you don't have those fragrances, this is kind of a combination of all of them, and maybe the ultimate form of that scent profile, because let's eliminate a few things here. It performs better and smells richer than Coach Blue, which we'll talk about performance in a little bit. It performs about the same and doesn't smell as chemically synthetic as YSLY EDT, either version, the old one or the new one. It's not as sweet as the new one. Stick with me now. And then as far as Lacoste L1212 White, the EDP, it's kind of what and what there. That does perform slightly better. But honestly, I think this smells better because it's more aquatic. That one's more around the citrus type of smell and kind of that ambergris type of feel. Whereas here, you're getting more of the aromatics and more of the aquatic tone. So very similar to all of those, but there's things that it makes it a little bit better than all of them. Probably not the turn you guys were expecting with everything I had to say prior to this current message in the scent portion of this video. It's actually really nice, and once it gets cheap, I can wholeheartedly recommend you guys check this out. At retail, don't pay retail like I did. I paid retail so you don't have to. Keep that in mind, because I knew I was going to like it. I saw the note breakdown. I mean, I've never smelled a Jimmy Choo Man fragrance that was bad. The note breakdown seemed like it would end up being familiar, but if nothing else, it's a nice spicy aromatic aquatic. That's my jam in the summertime. I knew I would like it. And as soon as I got it, of course, there's scents it's familiar to, but in many ways, it's better than those fragrances. And once it hits discounters, it will be cheaper than those fragrances. Probably in the realm of what Coach Blue will cost you. That's sub $40 from discounters. This will get to that point. When this gets to that point, I think it's absolutely worth your money. At the $90 I paid for it, it's absolutely not worth your money unless you just feel like you have to have it. At retail, please try before you buy. At discount, then I can say you're much more in a safer place with blind buying it, assuming you'll like it. But anytime you can, sample first, that's always the best route to go, because like I said, if you have more than 5 fragrances, you probably have something that smells kind of like this. So there's potential, strong potential for redundancy. So definitely try first. But it does smell really good. Now, in regards to performance, 5 to 6 hours, right in that average range, is what I've been getting in longevity. Not less, not more, kind of consistently. 5 to 6 hours, then it's time to refresh. That's kind of going rate. That's about what I expected. I didn't really think I would get any more. I feared for getting less, which it wouldn't have been the end of the world if I was getting 3 to 4 hours. I mean, that's all I get from Jimmy Choo Man Ice, and I love that fragrance. So I have been getting 5 to 6 hours. So most likely, most people will probably get in the 4 to 6 hour range. Drier skin guys will probably get in the 2 to 4 hour range. I'm more on the oily skin side. That's why I'm getting 5 to 6 more than likely. But projection, loud and bright early on. So first 30 minutes, very bright, very loud. Not a room filler. Even if you spray it heavy, you're not going to fill a room with this fragrance. But it can be a lot. It will be a heavy presence in the first hour or so, especially if you're the type that likes to spray 10, 15, 20 sprays. There's a lot of guys out there that do that, you know. This is one that I've been spraying in the 7 to 10 spray range. So I have been a little heavier than I typically do, because with these fresher fragrances, that's the ones where I feel like it's not really necessary, but easier to pull off without being too cloying or too much, even for yourself as the wearer. So the projection, about arm's length, maybe a little bit better in the first 30 minutes, but overall average projection, arm's reach type of stuff for about an hour, hour and a half before it really calms down into a, kind of moderate to mild sillage. It's definitely closer to the mild side, but not completely a mild sillage where it's weak and you won't randomly get whiffs of it. But by no means is this a strong fragrance. It's, like I said, kind of average across the board. So if you were looking for a very strong performer or had high hopes for performance on this one, you're probably going to be let down. But if you're okay with average performance, when it gets the discounters, I think it's worth your money. Final thoughts. Don't buy this at retail. I stress that again. I paid retail, so you don't have to. So I could fair warn you guys of what I get from it and what I feel about it. And that's how I feel. I think it honestly smells a little bit better than YSLY EDT. I think it smells a little bit better than L1212 White EDP. I think it smells better than Coach Blue. And it performs better than 2 out of the 3. Actually, just 1 out of the 3, because I actually get pretty good performance out of YSLY EDT as well. But it's kind of on par with the 2 that it doesn't outperform. And like I said, not as chemically synthetic as the others, and so on, just as enjoyable. Like I said, when this one gets cheap, this will be a nice light blue fragrance. The color's fitting because it's a very fresh aquatic. A nice light blue fragrance to add to a beginning stage of a collection, or if you're just looking, you're just into those types of fragrances, which I am, then you can add it to your collection and not have to worry about it. But definitely, sample it if you can. Go to a Macy's. They sell it at Macy's. That's where I bought it. See if they have a tester, spray it on your skin, walk around, spend some time with it. See how you really feel. Like I said, there's strong potential here for redundancy in your collection with this fragrance. But as a standalone, it definitely smells really good. I think it's better than good. I don't think it's very good. I think it's better than good at 6.5 out of 10. I think that's a solid rating for this, because this is a solid fragrance. It's better than good. It's not average. It's not too basic of a fragrance, but it's more on the basic side. And the reason I say that is because I have several fragrances that it immediately made me think of. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. It's a good thing for wanting to discuss it in a review with you guys, so I can give you forewarning that if you like these, you'll like this. But if you have those, you don't need this. But I do think it's better than all of what it smells like. So I hope that was some valuable information that's useful to a lot of you guys. Because like I said, it's solid. That's my thoughts and feelings on the new Jimmy Choo Man Aqua. And until next time, do me a real quick favor. Go ahead and like, comment, subscribe. So I do appreciate all the feedback, and I love hearing from you guys. How many of you tried this already? Like I said, it smells better than YSLY, which a lot of you know I love YEDT, because it's not as chemically synthetic. It smells at least as good as L1212 White EDP and Coach Blue. Performs better than Coach Blue. Performs just as well, maybe a little bit less than White EDT and Lacoste White EDP. I mean, that's the three I can relate it to the most. So if you have those, this is probably a pass. If you're looking for strong performance, this is probably a pass. But if you understand what you're getting into and you sample first, I think once this hits discounters, a lot of people will probably be getting their hands on it because, like I said before, I love Jimmy Choo Man Ice, and it's a much weaker performer, and there's a lot of people out there that love Jimmy Choo Man Ice. So until next time, I will say if you get your hands on Jimmy Choo Man Aqua and give it a spray now, you might end up thanking me later. Have a good one, guys.